All right, everybody. Just thought I'd give you a quick update from in the pit and let you know what we've been up to. So, we've been doing some work on the chin cowl. And what I've done underneath the tape is the little access panel for the chin cowl. So I'll remove the tape for you and see what we did here. Sorry about that. My fat fingers don't work too good in the cold right at the moment for thing. So we just cyanoed the sanded off the primer and gave the litho plate a quick rough job. Sand on the backside, cyanoed it to the chin cowl, and then I took a little out of my collection of brass tubings and stuff. Took a little piece of brass tubing, glued it along the bottom, and I just took my broken little triangle file and just filed. That's what the tape was. Where'd they go? That's what the tape was for, to protect the lithoplate inspection thing cover and the chin cowl. And I just laid out a couple ticky-doos to simulate the piano hinge. So we just filed in a couple grooves, so we'll get that a squirt of primer. I've laid out where my fasteners, the Zeus fasteners, will be for the inspection, and then laid out around the chin cowl all that where the fasteners will be for that. And I just basically same thing, I just used a piece of masking tape laid out for one side. Going by, I'll bring it over here. Going by the picture here, it might just be an optical illusion, but as the fasteners come down, they appear to get closer together, but that might just be an optical illusion because of it's a curve, and they might be all the same spacing. But I believe there's 7 there or whatever. And basically I did the same thing. Laid them out there. Got a little bit closer to the end. Focus. Laid them out around there. And then turn the tape around. Laid out those. Okay. So that gets us pretty close to the chin cowl. And then looking on this picture here, just wanted to look at some of the rivets, how the aileron was done. And we come along here. Sorry for the walk here. On the bottom side of my dad's aileron had some rivets, but there was nothing was on the top of his rivets, or top of his ailerons for rivets. So I don't know if he made, I don't know, maybe they just never got done or were sanded out or whatever. So basically just made a quick template of where the rivets were on the bottom side, and then I just took my template, lined it up roughly on here, put some ticks, just put some ticks along the top of the aileron. Sorry about that. Just used put the small square up along the edge, drew the panel lines, well, not the panel lines, but rivet guidelines. you can use, I just usually use a clothespin to hold the thing. Quick tip: if you got get yourself some large tongue depressors. Put a rubber band and that around the one end, so they're, sorry, get you back in the frame. So they're kind of springy, and if you wanted to hold things in place here, we'll come down to this aileron. You can just slide that over like that, and that kind of holds that. So then, not feeling like taking out the soldering iron and going along and laying out every rivet, I've had this wheel. This wheel has been sitting on my bench forever. So what I did is, on my dad's little TIG lathe, turned down the bushing. This is just a quickie job. I'll make it a better one. I was gonna machine out the, I don't think I got enough room, but I was gonna machine this out, or even maybe turn this handle upside down, machine this out to put the wheel right in the middle. But I just wanted to do an experiment, so I made a bushing for it, and then this I already had this, and I had a hole in it, so I thought, oh, I'll make a quick wheel. So I took it and I just ran it down there, and it made those little rivets in the soft spots. It kind of, let's see if my finger will fit there, kind of squished it along, but it did make some nice little, zoom in there, some little impressions. So that saved a bit of time, just to take care of that. We'll come down here, we'll just show you along here. On the trim tab was pretty soft, so it went a little bit deeper, but it just enough to, see if it'll focus, just enough to make a little bit of an indent along there. So that speeded up some time. You can also, from Top Flight, there's the template right there. It has, there's some, imagine those are for fuel caps and stuff, but there's some template outlines and drawings. And then depending on what scale of model you're doing, they have scale, basically spacing for rivets. And if you're doing, third scale, quarter scale, fifth scale, I think this is only, I think I've been using, might be using 1/6 on this thing. But I'll show you some of the templates that my dad had made some real long ones for laying out rivets and stuff. Some people just take the soldering iron and just lightly go along and just eyeball blop 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 blop. And then working on 2 Mustangs at the same time, I just grabbed the template when I was putting some panel lines back on here. I just grabbed my Mustang template that I had, and this lined everything up, and just redrew and retaped his. Mine's in a little bit of a different spot from where his was, but it's good enough. I kept saying 1/64th chart pack tape. Where is it here? Oh, it is 1/64th. I think I kept calling it 1/32, but it's 1/64th chart pack tape. Some of my models I've just left it on, but really when you get your primer on, supposed to peel it off. I might shoot this, see if I can get it in black, shoot it. Want to do different colors since the wing was sprayed silver because they filled all the rivets. The wing was silver, and the fuselage on this one was more the polished aluminum. But that's about as far as we got on that. Still have to do cut the barrels off and do brass tubing and stuff. Got the chin cowl. Chin cowl's pretty well ready to go. I ventured out into the garage and got my old. I haven't used this one for years. Got my old little mouse sander, and I'll show you about using, if you use a box lid and you're doing your sanding, that catches most of the dirt. But if you look close here, you can see all the details that were, all the Zeus fasteners that were in the original cowl. So we're going to get this sanded down pretty good. Didn't realize my dad had so much primer, and I think we're probably going through where, oops, sorry about that. See, you can see there's a panel there, access panel there, and there should be one. I think it's starting to come right. You can start seeing some of it right there is one. That's probably the oil and stuff, but I'm going to use it for fuel and stuff. And we're gonna work on touching up all, filling all there, and excuse me, and take a mold off of it. But other than that, I think we're pretty good. I think that's about it for now. All right. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you again in another one. Be safe out there. I don't know what the temperature is today out here, but she's cold. All right. Be safe. Jeff out from the pit. Bye.